We've all been there, haven't we? That moment, that feeling. When everything seems to crumble. We all know that moment. The hardest moment in life is probably when you face your own limits. It's at that moment you realize that you can't go any further. That everything is over. But let me ask you something. Is that really your limit? Or is it just a limit you've set for yourself? Perhaps that question is echoing in your mind right now. We all experience that moment when we feel like we can't go on. But the truth is, that moment is actually when you are at your strongest. Because in that moment, there are only two choices. To give up or to keep going. Yes, giving up is always an option. But it's an option that determines your future. Today we're going to talk about that choice. And how to turn the impossible into the possible. So let's begin this journey together. The journey to finding out how to make the impossible possible. Now let's be honest with ourselves. Life isn't as easy as we thought it would be, right? Every day we face countless challenges at work, at home, and within ourselves. These challenges test our limits. Think about it. What challenges did you face today? At what moment did you feel defeated? And when you felt that way, how did you respond? They either stand still or they move backward. Nothing changes. But here's the important thing. In that moment, what you need to do is take just one more step forward. Yes, just one more step. That one step can change your life. The world is waiting for you to take that step forward. Because that's the only way you can grow. Now, what we're going to talk about is exactly that. How what seems impossible can actually be within reach. And how you can tap into that potential. What is impossible? It's just a word. Depending on the meaning we attach to it, it can either become an obstacle that blocks our path, or just a small bump we can easily step over. So here we are at a crucial crossroads in life. You're standing in front of two paths. One is the path of giving up, and the other is the path of challenge. These two paths are completely different. The path of giving up may seem easy, but at the end of it, there's nothing. On the other hand, the path of challenge is difficult and can be treacherous. It may be painful and lonely at times. But what lies at the end of that path? Fulfillment and a sense of pride that no one can take away from you. Let me share a story with you. Once, there was a young man. He had dreams, but reality was harsh. He faced constant failure and people around him said, "You should quit. This isn't for you." But the young man didn't give up. He learned from his failures, and he kept trying. Finally, he achieved his dream. Who was this young man? He was Thomas Edison. Edison faced thousands of failures, but not once did he give up. He learned from his failures, and eventually he succeeded. And he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Yes, if he had given up, many of the inventions we enjoy today might not exist. Just like that, giving up is always an option. But it's one that determines your future. The same goes for you. Failure is just part of the process. Failure doesn't stop us, it trains us to be stronger. The challenges and failures you're facing now will eventually make you a better person. So don't be afraid of the challenges in front of you. When they try to knock you down, that's the moment you become stronger. If you keep going, those challenges will eventually lead you to higher ground. Now we've learned an important truth. Impossible is nothing more than an illusion we create. The key to turning the impossible into the possible lies within our minds. When you think something is impossible, a fierce battle takes place inside your mind. Your fear tries to take control, while your will fights against it. The winner of this battle is your will. So don't stop fighting. That battle will make you stronger. Don't break your will. It's the beginning of your transformation. Here's another story. There was a woman who was told from a young age that her dreams were impossible. She was poor and she had little opportunity for education. But she had a dream. She wanted to be a writer. Many people laughed at her and said her dream was impossible. But she didn't give up. She started writing in the limited time she had. Her first manuscript was rejected dozens of times. But she didn't give up. Finally, her story was shared with the world. She achieved a dream that no one believed in. That woman was J.K. Rowling. She is another example of someone who turned the impossible into the possible. She believed in herself, and her determination led her to success. Just like her, your life can be the same. What you think is impossible can become possible, depending on your will. Today, right now, you can change your life. Impossible will no longer block your path, as long as you don't let it. Everything depends on you. Now you can do it. Turn your impossible into possible. The power is already within you. Believe in your will and let it guide you to the next level in life. Every great journey begins with a single step. The path you dream of starts here and now. Take that first step. The step that turns the impossible into the possible. Your story is just beginning. I look forward to the moment when your impossible becomes possible. You can do it. Your will and determination will turn that possibility into reality. Now the world will hear your story. The story of how you turned the impossible into the possible. Today, right now, start that journey. Become better.